God says, someone is crazy in love with you, and it's all because you did this. Watch before it's too late. My child, I have brought you here for a very specific reason today, and I want you to listen to my voice with your whole heart. This moment, right here and right now, is not an accident or a coincidence of the internet. I have guided your hand and your eyes to these words because there is something urgent I need to tell you about your life and the people in it. You might feel like you are just scrolling, but I am the one who slowed your thumb down just enough so that you would stay and hear what I have to say. There is a deep reason you felt a tug in your spirit to click on this video. Something inside of you, that quiet whisper I placed within your soul, told you to pay attention because the message I am about to deliver is for you and you alone. You need to know that someone very real is thinking about you at this exact second. Someone you know, someone you have shared history with, or perhaps someone who has recently drifted away, is struggling deeply in the silence. They are tossing and turning, unable to find peace, and it is all because of a change they feel coming from you. I want you to understand that they are not struggling because you did something mean or because you tried to hurt them. They are not in pain because you fought with them or because you made a big scene. No, my child, their struggle comes from a much deeper place. They are hurting because you stopped doing what they always expected you to do. For so long, you were the one who held everything together. You were the person who chased, who made the effort, and who demanded the clarity that they were never willing to give you. You were the one who begged for a crumb of their attention or a moment of their time. But then, something shifted inside of you. I placed a new strength in your heart, and you simply stopped. You didn't make a big announcement or post a long message about how you were moving on. You didn't give a final speech or try to get the last word. You just became still. You stepped back into the light of my love, and you decided to choose yourself for once. This quiet shift is what has shaken their entire world. Welcome to Lord Miracles Daily, my dear one. Before we go any deeper into what this person is feeling, I want to invite you to join this family. If you feel my presence in your life, please subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a word I have for you. I want you to stay connected to this community because every message I send through here is designed to change your mindset and bring you closer to the peace I have planned for you. Please take a moment to comment. I am choosing myself below to let the universe know that you are ready for this new chapter. Your support means everything, and I want to see you grow in my grace every single day. Now, let's talk about that moment when everything changed. It was a quiet moment, wasn't it? It wasn't a loud explosion of anger. It was just a silence where there used to be so much effort. It was a calm that settled over your spirit, where there used to be constant anxiety and worry about what they were thinking or what they were doing. You stopped over-explaining your feelings. You stopped trying to convince them of your worth. You didn't walk away to punish them or to play a game to get their attention. You simply stopped abandoning your own soul just to keep them comfortable. And the very moment you did that, the moment you let go and leaned into me, something inside of them broke wide open. They never expected this from you. They had become so used to you being the reliable one, the one who would always be there, always forgiving, always waiting in the wings for them to finally decide if you were enough. They lived their life under the assumption that your love was a guaranteed constant. They thought you were a permanent fixture in their world that they didn't have to work for. And you must understand this truth I am telling you. When someone believes your presence is guaranteed, they stop protecting it. They stop prioritizing you. They don't nurture the connection because they think it will never die. They delay their love because they think you will wait forever. But you have shown them that you are no longer waiting. You stopped reminding them of how much you matter, and you stopped explaining the pain they were causing you. You simply stopped proving your loyalty every single day. And now, that silence you have created is the loudest thing they have ever heard. It is deafening to them. This is the place where a true, deep realization begins to set in. Most people don't realize what they have when they feel like they're in total control. They don't fall truly deeply in love when they feel like they own you. People often only realize the depth of their feelings when they face the terrifying reality that they might have already lost you for good. Right now, as I speak to you, this person is replaying every memory of you in their mind. They are thinking about your laugh, the way you were so patient with them even when they didn't deserve it, and the way you cared for them without ever keeping a scorecard. They are remembering how you stayed by their side when it would have been so much easier for you to just walk away months or years ago. The hardest part for them to swallow is that they didn't see your true value while you were reaching for them. They only saw it once your energy was withdrawn and you turned your face back toward me. They feel your absence in their bones, my child. Even if they haven't sent you a text, even if they are acting like everything is fine on social media, or even if they tell their friends they are too busy to think about it, they are lying to themselves. They feel the void where your light used to be. You weren't just another person to them. You were the one person who truly saw them for who they were. When someone loses the person who actually understood their soul, they don't just miss a partner or a friend. They miss the version of themselves that existed when they were loved by you. You gave them a rare gift by not becoming cold or cruel. You didn't seek revenge or try to make them jealous. You just stepped back with your dignity intact, and that kind of self-respect is a powerful magnet. It tells the entire world that you know who you are, even if they were too blind to see it. My child, let us look deeper into the storm that is currently rising within their mind. While you are finally finding your peace and leaning into my strength, they are beginning to face the very questions they tried so hard to run away from. They are sitting in the quiet moments of their day, asking themselves why they didn't choose why. Oh, when you were standing right in front of them with an open heart, they are wondering why they ever assumed you would be a permanent safety net, always there to catch them no matter how many times they walked away. This sudden emptiness they feel isn't just a coincidence. It is the weight of your absence finally settling into their soul. They look at your name on their phone, they scroll through old messages, and they hesitate. They want to reach out, but they are paralyzed, because talking to you now means they have to face a truth they spent months avoiding. You were the real thing, and they simply weren't ready for a love that honest. I want you to hear this next part very carefully because it is the most important lesson I can give you today. Just because someone is suddenly crazy in love with you or obsessed with getting you back, it does not mean they have learned how to love you correctly. You must understand the difference between someone missing your presence and someone being ready for your heart. Love without spiritual maturity will always hesitate when things get difficult. Love that has not gone through the fire of healing will still be afraid of a real commitment. Love that refuses to grow will always find a way to delay taking the action you deserve. This is why I have sent you this message, not to tell you to run back into their arms the moment they show regret, but to remind you of why they are feeling this way in the first place. Please, if this message is speaking to your spirit, take a moment to comment "I trust your timing" below. It is important for you to declare your faith in the process I am working out in your life right now. When you share your heart in the comments, you are not just typing words, you are confirming to me and to yourself that you are ready for a higher level of alignment. You have activated something incredibly powerful. Imply by being still. You showed them what true unconditional love looks like without ever having to force it or beg for it. You showed them what it feels like to have someone consistent in their life without trying to control their every move. You provided a sense of emotional safety that they had never experienced before, and you did it without a single hint of manipulation. And now, without you saying a word or lifting a finger, they are forced to feel the full crushing weight of your absence. That weight is heavier than any argument you could have had with them. It is heavier than any goodbye you could have shouted. It is the weight of a lost blessing, and it is a burden they must carry until they change. Here is my warning to you, and I need you to hold it close to your heart. If you rush back now, if you break the silence because you feel bad for them, you will stop the work I am doing. If you rescue them from the realization of what they have lost before they have actually grown, they will never become the person you need them to be. This space between you is doing the heavy lifting that your words and your love could never accomplish. This distance is teaching them the lessons that your kindness already tried to teach, but which they weren't willing to hear at the time. You must trust that this isn't about punishing them. This is about divine alignment. I want you to remember that the right person, the one I have specifically prepared for your soul, does not only wake up after you have already left. The person who is truly aligned with my will for you will choose you while you are still standing right there. They won't need the threat of losing you to realize that you are a treasure. So, why did I bring this message to you at this exact moment? I brought it because I know your heart is soft, and sometimes soft hearts confuse the pain of missing someone with a responsibility to save them. You can feel their energy, you can sense their regret, and you might even see them in your dreams, but that is not a signal that you are meant to go back to the way things were. It simply means the bond you shared was real, but you must understand that not every real bond is meant to continue forever. Some connections are meant to be completed and left in the past so that you can move toward what I have for your future. If they do come back into your life, you must demand that they come back changed, not just lonely, not just missing the way you made them feel, and not just afraid of being alone. They must be ready to choose you, ready to show up every single day, and ready to love you without a single second of hesitation. Anything less than that is just the same old cycle of pain, wearing a brand new mask. My child, look at how far you have come since the moment you decided to stop fighting for a seat at a table where you weren't being fed. I want you to feel the weight of my pride in you as you sit in this new quiet strength I have given you. You have done something that many people spend their entire lives failing to do. You chose your own soul over the comfort of a familiar pain. This transformation you are undergoing is not just about a relationship, it is a total realignment of your spirit with my divine purpose. You are finally beginning to see yourself through my eyes, as someone worthy of a love that is certain, a love that does not require you to diminish your light just to stay in the room. I have watched you transition from a place of constant striving to a place of absolute stillness. You used to spend your nights wondering what you could say or do differently to make them realize your worth. You used to think that if you were just a little more patient, a little more understanding, or a little more available, they would finally see the treasure they had in you. But I whispered to your heart that it was time to stop proving your loyalty to someone who was only using it as a reason to ignore your needs. And when you finally listened, when you finally stepped back and allowed the silence to take over, that is when the true miracle began to unfold. Please take a moment right now and comment, "I am a rare treasure," in the section below. I want you to declare this truth out loud and to this community. When you acknowledge the value I have placed within you, you break the chains of the past and open the door to the abundance I have waiting for your future. You see, my child, the person you left behind is currently drowning in the silence you created. They are finally beginning to understand that you weren't just a temporary stop on their journey. You were the person who truly saw them. They are sitting in the emptiness of their own choices, replaying the way you cared for them without keeping score, and the way you stayed even when it would have been easier to walk away. They are realizing that when they lost you, they lost the best version of themselves, the version that only existed because of the warmth of your love. This is why they are suddenly overwhelmed by feelings they didn't know they had. They are facing the reality that they were unprepared for the depth of what you offered. But I want to warn you again, my love, do not confuse their regret for a change of heart. Their sudden obsession or intense feelings of love are often just a reaction to the loss of control. They are feeling the weight of your absence, which is heavier than any words of anger you could have ever spoken. They are questioning why they let you slip away, and why they thought they would always have more time to choose you. They are wandering through the ruins of a connection they neglected, wondering if they can still find their way back to you. But you must understand that love without growth is just a cycle waiting to repeat itself. If you were to rush back now, simply because you feel their pain or sense their longing, you would be rescuing them from the very lesson they need to learn. This space between you is not a punishment I have orchestrated. It is a classroom. It is the only place where they can truly see the value of what they threw away. Your love tried to teach them, but they wouldn't listen. Now, your absence is doing the work that your presence never could. You must trust me when I say that some bonds are meant to be completed, not continued. Some people are only meant to walk with you for a season to teach you how to choose yourself. You have activated a quiet power that is unshakable because it doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. By stopping the chase, you have forced the universe to bring everything into alignment. You have shown that your dignity is more important than your desire to be wanted. This is the energy that attracts the right kind of love, the kind that recognizes you immediately, without confusion or hesitation. I am preparing someone for you who will not need to lose you to value you. I am preparing a connection that is based on maturity, healing, and mutual growth. As you move through this day, I want you to hold on to this truth. You were never hard to love. You were simply offering a diamond to someone who was only looking for stones. Their inability to handle your depth was never a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their own lack of preparation. You are a soft heart in a hard world, and I will always protect that softness as long as you continue to trust in my timing. You do not have to beg, you do not have to explain, and you certainly do not have to go back to a version of yourself that you have already outgrown. Stay in this place of peace, my child. Let the person who is struggling find their own way to the light. Your only responsibility right now is to stay aligned with the growth I am producing in you. You have discovered who you are, and that knowledge is the most powerful thing you will ever own. Do not give it away for a moment of temporary relief or a familiar voice that hasn't learned how to speak the language of true commitment. I am with you in every breath and every step. I am the one who guided you to this message today because I knew you needed to be reminded that you are doing exactly what you were meant to do. You are standing in your power, and the entire spiritual realm is watching in awe as you finally recognize the miracle that you are. Keep going, my child. The best is not just coming, it is already beginning to take root in the space you have cleared. My child, look at the path behind you and see how much the landscape of your heart has changed. I want you to understand that any connection that requires you to shrink yourself or beg for basic respect is simply the same old cycle of pain wearing a brand new mask. If you allow someone back into your life just because they are lonely or because they finally realize they miss your light, you are only inviting that same cycle to repeat itself. I am calling you to a higher standard of love, one that is rooted in the truth and the peace I have provided for you. You must hold your ground and wait for the type of change that only happens when a soul truly encounters my grace and recognizes its own mistakes. I want to speak a truth into your spirit that will heal the wounds of your past. You were never, ever hard to love. Do not let the silence of another person or the rejection of the world convince you that you are difficult to care for or that your heart is a burden. The truth is that they were, simply unprepared for the depth of the ocean you carry inside of you. They were standing on the shore, afraid of the waves, while you were offering them the treasures of the deep. Their inability to swim in your love was a reflection of their own limitations, not a lack of value in you. You are a masterpiece of my creation, and I did not make a mistake when I gave you a heart that loves so deeply and so purely. Please take a moment right now and comment, "I am easy to love," in the section below. I want you to fill this space with that declaration until you believe it in every fiber of your being. When you say those words, you are agreeing with what I have always known about you. Your comment is a witness to your healing and a sign to others that they too are worthy of a love that is gentle and kind. I have a promise for you that is already in motion. Because you have had the courage to step back and trust me, I am preparing someone else to enter your life, someone who is perfectly aligned with your growth, your depth, and my timing. This person will not need a map to find your value, and they will not need a tragedy to realize they want to be with you. They will recognize you immediately, for the spirit within them will answer to the spirit within you. There will be no confusion, no long periods of waiting for a text, and no almost that leave you wondering where you stand. They will choose you with a certainty that reflects the way I have always chosen you. I want you to hear my final message for you today, and I want you to read these words in your heart as slowly as possible. The reason this person is suddenly crazy in love with you, the reason they are replaying your name and your face in their mind, is not because of anything you said to convince them. It is not because you chased them down or fought for their attention. In fact, it is the exact opposite. T is because you finally stopped chasing. It is because you laid down the heavy burden of trying to force a connection and you finally remembered exactly who you are. When you remembered that you are a child of the Most High, you stepped into a quiet and unshakable power. This power does not need to shout to be heard. It does not need to perform to be seen. It is the power of a soul that knows its worth is rooted in me and not in the opinions of others. This is the energy that has shifted the atmosphere around you and forced those who overlooked you to finally see the light they were ignoring. This is the power that I have placed within you, and I am telling you now, do not give it away. Do not trade your peace for a person who only values you when you are out of reach. You have learned that your silence is more powerful than your pleading. You have learned that your absence can teach lessons that your presence never could. This is a level of spiritual maturity that will serve you for the rest of your life. As you move forward from this moment, carry yourself with the dignity of royalty. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows they are protected and provided for. You no longer have to worry about who is staying or who is leaving, because you know that I am the one who opens and closes the doors of your life. If you have found value in these words today, and you feel my presence speaking through this message, I invite you to like and share this video with someone who needs to be reminded of their worth. Your support helps us reach more hearts and spread the message of my miracles and my love. Don't forget to subscribe to Lord Miracles Daily so that we can continue this journey of growth together every single day. I have so much more to show you, and I want you to be here for every word. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for trusting in the process I am working out in your life. You are never alone, and you are more loved than you can possibly imagine. Go forth today in the strength of your own self-remembrance, knowing that the greatest miracle is not that someone else loves you, but that you have finally learned to love yourself as I love you. Stay in the light, stay in the peace, and stay in the power that I have given you. I will see you in the next message.